What's up, everyone? King of Miami here, bringing you a tutorial video sponsored by Miami VR. Make sure you follow YouTube channel. And I have
Mhm.
Carrie right here with us.
Hey
She's going to be our
guys.
helper in today's lesson. Today, we're going to do a introduction and a beginner teaching of scripting a basic moderation tool. And then we'll do a second video next, and that will go into more details and doing more features and whatnot. So this is just going to be a beginner, but if you are new to scripting in Horizon Worlds or want to learn or build on your skills, this is the perfect video for you. So we're going to go ahead and show you what we're going to make, and we're going to get right into it.
Sounds good.
Okay, guys. So today we are going to make a very simple, basic moderation tool that only has three options: to mute a person, to put them in a jail box, and the third option will be to ban them, um, like kind of permanently, where every time they spawn into the world, they'll be put automatically into the jail box. In the second video, we're going to have expand on these types of features and options and add a lot more things you can do. And it's a little bit more advanced, and it will be a much longer detail because there's intricate stuff. This one is long enough, as you can see here. Let me show you the script that we are going to be making in this video. This is how it will look. So we're going to do this all from scratch again, with Carrie following along and being our helper and student today. And so anyone can do this if you follow along with this video and just listen to the teaching instructions of this tutorial. And so the end result, it's going to be this Pikachu right here. So here I have just a cylinder that we can use as a tool. And here I have a Pikachu, just to let you guys know that you can use anything as your grab asset or grab object. So you can make it cute. You can make it like a gun, a sword. I know some people wanted other options. You can make it anything you want, anything you can create.
Mhm.
So that's why I just picked Pikachu to kind of show you. So now, as you can see, as I'm pointing at Carrie here, there's like a little Sims indicator on her and denoting that she's currently being selected. And then if I press the trigger, I have this little menu that pops up. And then I'm going to scroll through it, and I can have these three options like I mentioned before: mute, kick, and band. Um, and then I can select one of those, like kick, for example. I'll press the A
Uh-oh.
button, and I
Ah.
will go ahead and move her into the jailhouse. You stay
I'm
there.
I can't move. I can't move.
And when you let go of the Pikachu, the menu will go ahead and disappear until we select her again. Um, so that's pretty much what we're gonna do. It's simple. It's not fully. You can come out, Carrie. I give you permission. It's
Alright.
fairly simple version of a mod tool, and like I said, this is mainly primarily to get the ball rolling for everyone that wants to learn how to make one on their own. And then from there, we'll do a second video where we'll do a lot more features, make it a little bit more advanced, robust, and kind of full circle. This one you could only mute, respawn, and permanently ban, but obviously you might want to be able to unmute. We might pay. I'm gonna make where we will put tape on their
Mhm.
mouth when they're muted as well, so people can visually see that they've been muted. We can freeze people in place where they can. Maybe you don't want to send them to a jailhouse. Maybe you just want them to like be frozen for 30 seconds or 2 minutes and have tape on their mouth and not talk. So, we'll do stuff like that in the next video. But here, this is what we're going to get started with. And you'll be able to customize it later on your own. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So, Carrie,
Yes.
all right, you can go ahead and. So, Carrie, if you like, you can go ahead and take a script out. And I'm going to do the same and take out a
Okay.
brand new script. So, you can call your script Carry tool. I'll call mine
Carry.
Miami tool.
Okay. Carry mount tool.
All right, so got there. All right, so this is a script we're gonna use. I'm gonna come over here. All right, so I'm gonna put all this to the side over there, guys. I'll leave this table here because there's a purpose for that. And we'll leave the jail there that Carrie made. Thank you. We'll leave that there as well. And I have here class notes. So in today's class, this is what we're going to go through. We're going to
Okay.
walk through each one of these steps. The first thing we're going to script who can see the tool, who can grab the tool, because obviously you don't want anybody to grab your moderation tool to mute and kick people. So we're only going to have the moderators be able to see the tool. We're only going to have the moderators be able to grab the tool. Then we're going to do the Raycast setup, the indicator, then the menu, the scrolling of the menu, the selection of which option you want to have happen, and then the actual actions, and then just a recap. So I'm trying to make it very concise and simplified. There is a lot of code to
Yes.
go through, though, even though it's a very simple thing, but we'll be able to do it. So,
Mm-hmm.
first things first, we'll go ahead and let's make the tool. So, let's just make a simple
Okay.
tool. All right, so you can do whatever you like. So, I'm just going to go ahead and grab a cylinder to
Okay.
make.
So any.
So anyone can do this in case you guys don't have a Pikachu or anything, but I just wanted to show you can, if you have a character, you can do a Pikachu, you can do anything. But we'll just start with the very
Incredible.
basics, a cylinder. So I'm going to make this cylinder here. Let me see a spawn point so I can see the size of the cylinder and the hand. Okay, that's fine. Okay. And then we're just going to add, for right now, one thing to this cylinder. And you guys can go to your gizmos menu and you will scroll down and you'll see this Raycast. You'll see this target and it's called the Raycast. So let's go ahead
Okay.
and pull that out. And we're just going to group the
Okay. So I
Raycast
wanted to.
and your object together. And there we go. So now you should have this. Very simple. So now you just have a shape and a Raycast pointing directly out, just like that. If you want
Okay.
to be a perfectionist, you can go ahead and use your snapping there and grab this dot and put it in the middle there. Now it's perfectly centered and straight and in line with the cylinder. And we'll group it
Did
again.
it?
Go ahead.
Okay. That's what I was gonna ask. If you do group it. Okay.
If I
Got it.
did what?
Oh, if you group it with the
Yes,
raycast.
group it. Yes, with the
Okay.
raycast inside. Okay. So that's step one. So that's what we're building. That's how we're gonna build for right now, because we can get started with this. All right. So
Okay.
we'll go ahead and grab a script. We can go ahead and open the group, the properties of this group, and we
Mm-hmm.
can put our script already connected. So I'm gonna connect Miami
Okay.
tool script, and then while we have the properties open, we need to make sure we have interactive set on this property group and it's set
Okay.
to grabbable.
Grabbable. Got it.
Okay. And so if we quickly come into preview mode, I can go ahead and grab my tool. So there we go.
Okay.
All right. So we got that. Okay. So let's go back to the script.
Okay.
All right. So first things first, on our class notes, we're gonna set who can see this tool, because again, we don't want anyone to see it and be like, "Hey, what's that?" And maybe if I
Okay.
grab the tool in my hand, I don't want someone else to know I have something in my hand, right?
Right.
Because I'm about to mute them or kick them, so I don't want them to like, you know, that's for my information to know that I have it in my hand. So to do this, we are going to say when world is started. We're going to go to the actions tab and we're going to look for a code block that says who can see. So I already passed it. All right, set who can.
That's what it's called. Who can see?
No, it's right here. Set who is allowed to view object. It's towards the bottom of the first list.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, under the object list, the very top list, it's towards the bottom, right before the text. So we grab this code block, set who is allowed to view object, and we put it under here under when world is started. So who is allowed to view object? Um, right now it says self, which self is this group, so that's fine. So we can leave self. And then it says we have to put a list here. So a list of people. So we're going to go to the variables
Okay.
tab.
I don't want to miss
And
a step. So,
yeah,
but which tab was it under? You said actions.
yes. So go ahead to the actions, like it's like the star one. And
Mm-hmm.
then right, scroll down to before you see text, you'll see it says
Okay.
set who is allowed to view object.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's allowed to view object. Got it.
Hmm. All right. And then you should
Okay.
see, yeah. So now you see there's an empty list that we need to make, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So go to the hashtag, the variables tab, and
Okay.
then you're going to click new variable. And then we have this little pop up. We're going to create the type first, is going to be a player type, and then toggle on the list button. So that turns to like a purple color. So it's on. And this is now a
Okay.
player list, and we're gonna call it we'll just call it mods,
Okay.
mods, mods. So that's our mods list, and then you click save, and then you should see that pill that says mods, right?
Does
So
capitalization matter?
it doesn't in this case.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah. So it doesn't matter what you name it. It won't affect the script whatsoever. In
Okay.
this situation, later, might get confusing, but it's always good to name it appropriately.
Okay.
So now you're gonna grab that pill and plug it
Mm-hmm.
into the empty list. So now we have who is allowed to view self when world is started to mods. So now watch this. Um, do you see your tool?
Yes. No.
Exactly.
No, I don't.
Know why? Because we just put who is allowed to see it.
Okay.
And the only people that
And
can
I'm not
see
a
it,
mod. Yes.
yeah, the only people that can see it is the list of players that we called mod, which
Okay.
right now nobody's in that list. So nobody can see the objects. If we stop the world, we can go ahead, stop the world,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously we can see it because the world is not
Right.
running, right? But as soon as
Okay.
we place start, so you guys at home can see, as soon as we place start, they disappear. And Pikachu is saying hello. Hi, Pikachu. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and
Nice.
stop the world again. All right,
Mm-hmm.
so who can see is halfway done. Um,
Nice.
all right, so now before we're gonna do two in one. So we're also gonna go back to the actions tab,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to scroll down and set who can grab. That was number two. Let me turn on that's number two on our notes. Who can grab? So again, we don't want anybody to grab this tool. We just want moderators. So we're gonna grab this code block that says set who can grab object.
In the same block area.
Yes, right underneath set who is allowed
Okay.
to view. We'll place it there.
Okay.
And then we're just gonna grab that green pill of mods, click on it, and then hold it with the trigger, and then drag it to
Mm-hmm.
assignees, and then do the right click to duplicate.
Okay. But it's reset who is allowed to view object.
No,
Oh,
so
got it. Got you. I got it. I found it.
yeah, set
Set
who
who
can
can
grab
grab
self to mods.
mod and then duplicate it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, you got it. Let me see.
Yep. Yeah. Go ahead.
Where's your script? Where's your script?
Right here.
I don't see it. Where did you pull it out?
Oh, it's right here.
Oh,
Can you
you
see
didn't
it?
name your script. Well, for me,
Oh, I
just a
did
script
name it.
one. Okay, now I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, it
It
says a
is
name too.
named, so I'm not sure.
It is. It
Okay,
is.
good.
But when
It
I was
is
just
good.
looking at it from the purple, it wasn't sure. Okay. All right.
Right? It looks, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. So
Oh,
okay. Okay. Cool. So we have. All right. So now we set who can grab self. So let's test that real quick. Let's go into preview mode,
okay.
and you'll notice you don't see it, right?
No,
But can you grab it?
I don't even know where it is.
I think yours is over here. Here it is. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
if yeah, go ahead and come into preview.
Oh, okay.
Step back a little bit. You can grab it,
Oh, there it
right?
goes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So why do you think that is? If we just put the code block of who can grab it.
Because it's not specific to anybody
Um,
yet.
so the reason why is because we have to go to the properties panel of the object and we have to configure it there basically. So let's go back
Okay.
into build mode.
Okay.
Select your object,
Mhm.
open the
Yeah.
properties panel. We're going to go to the more.
Okay.
And under more, if you scroll down, you see it says who can grab. It asks you a
Mhm.
question. And right now it's
Okay.
configured to anybody. So even though we just wrote a script that says only these people can grab from the list, but here it's who can grab anybody. So we need to switch that
Oh.
to script assignees.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Okay.
So now go into preview
Okay.
and now try to grab it. And you'll see you won't be able to grab it.
No, because I'm not assigned yet.
Exactly.
Okay.
Perfect. All
That's
right.
good.
All right. So we got um, those two lines of code.
Okay.
All right. So now nobody can. So now if we were to restart the world real quick, nobody can see it and nobody can grab it because we have a
Okay.
list that is empty. All right. Cool. So now let's go. Let's make ourselves mods. So you're gonna make yourself a mod for your, and I'm gonna make myself a mod for mine. All right.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and do when player enters the world. So go to the events tab, the first icon,
Okay.
and we're going to do when player enters the world under player events.
Got it.
And then so here, when the player enters the world, we want to check if they should be in this mods list or not.
Okay.
So to do this, we have to go to variables and we're going to manually make a list. So go to new variable. We're going to switch the type to string. And then we're going to turn on the list because we might have more than one person that we want to add. And then here we can type mod names. Again, it's your personal naming preference. We're going to type
Okay.
mod names and then we're going to click confirm to save it. And now you should be able to see a drop down with mod names and it says 0 items, right?
Right.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and click that drop down arrow and then we're going to
Okay.
click add new item, add new item. You can, let's just do it 3, we'll do it 5 times. It doesn't matter if we do it 2, 3, 4, it doesn't matter. You could leave the periods there, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to delete them just
Okay.
because that's what I'm going to do. And then in the
Go
first
ahead.
one that says 0,
Mhm.
you have to put the player name exactly how it is, case sensitive, underscores, numbers.
Okay.
So here I'll
So
go
mine
ahead
is
and
simple.
yeah, don't forget the capital though.
Okay.
like
Yeah. I
like
never forget.
sometimes
Yeah.
that happens.
My capital.
So we're gonna go
Okay.
ahead here, King of Miami. I forgot an underscore. All right, so there we go. King of
Yeah. And
Miami
yours
is
doesn't have a capital.
only the M. So
Only the
yeah.
M. Okay.
All right, so I have that there. All right, so I have my name in there. You got your name in?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So now we're gonna
I'm
go
putting yours
to
too.
no, don't put mine in yet, because I don't want
Not
to
yet.
be able to
Okay.
grab or see it, so people can see
Gotcha.
that how it's working. And same with mine. I want I
Okay.
don't want you to be able to grab or see mine. Okay, so now when world is entered by player, we're going to go back to the events, and we're gonna grab
Mhm.
the green if condition. All
Okay.
right.
On the events, if.
So if is basically a check. It's like when an if
Mhm.
statement is basically we're gonna check something here. You got to pass
Okay.
this checkpoint, you can say. And then we got to we're going to put in this condition what the checkpoint is. So
Okay.
we're going to say when player enters the world, if the name of the player is in the mods names list, then add them to the mod players list.
Okay.
Do you get that?
Mhm.
Or do I need to break it down more? So, like,
One to find it.
yeah, so let me define it even further. So basically, we're going to say if the player that enters a world, I'm going to grab that player's name,
Okay.
right? And then I have a list of names here, right? That we just created. So I have a list of names that's already in the script that I manually typed in. And then I have the
Mm-hmm.
players that are coming into the world one right after the other. So the script, I'm going to have the script grab the name of each player and check if that name is in the list that I typed in.
Okay.
That's what this if is going to do. That's all it's going to do. So to do this,
Gotcha.
we're going to um, go to operations, operators,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and we're going to scroll all the way down to like list. You'll see list and a bunch of list options that we have here. So
Okay.
there's a kind of like a teal color that says list contains item.
Okay.
We're going to grab that and we're going to put that in the if statement. So now it should read if
Mm.
empty space list contains empty space item, right?
Yes.
So what we're going to put in that left side, the list is going to be the mods names list. So we're going to go to the variables tab. We're going to grab the pill that says mod names and we're going to put it in the list. List, you will always see these brackets, those square brackets. That's how you know it's a list and not just a regular string or a regular player. It has those
Okay.
brackets. Okay, so now if mod's name contains, and now we need to put an item there. So we're not going to put player there. We're going to put, I want the name of the player. So to get the name of the player, we go back to
Mm-hmm.
the operators, scroll all the
Okay.
way to the player section, and then we find where the pill that says name of player, and we plug that into item. And now
Player.
it says if mods names contains name of and an empty space player, and we'll just now we can drag in that player that has entered the world
Mm.
pill, and we put it in there.
Okay.
Got it?
That green player pill.
Yes.
Copy it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Copy it and put it in there, and now
Got
it
it.
should be if mods names contains name of player.
Okay.
There you go. So that's our
That looks
checkpoint. So
good.
that's what if is doing. If is going to check if the
Needs.
name of this player that has entered the world is contained in the mods list. So now if it is, do the following steps. That's what's happening.
Okay.
So, and it will only do it if it is true. So it's checking to see if it's true. So if this is true, then do the following. So what I want you to do is, um, if this is true, that means I'm a moderator. So if I'm a moderator, I need to be added to the list of player mods.
Mm.
So we're going
Okay.
back to operators and we're going to go back to list and you'll see a purple um, code block that says add to list. So we're going to grab that
Okay.
and we make sure we put that um, like nested inside of the if statement. So like there
In
should
there.
the yes inside. So
In the
you
teal
should see
part
like a
or in
green
the.
in the teal. So like
Mm.
right under the teal, but like a little to the right to make sure like the teal goes down like it's covering it, like it's inside of it.
Okay.
Because if you put it directly underneath, then there'll be a space between the if and the add code block. So you want to make sure you put it to where it goes right underneath the if and slightly to the right. Got it?
Okay. Right under. Should the blue be highlighted?
Um, what do you mean?
Oh, like if I hover, so I should hover right next to the word if, so that the teal is
Right.
highlighted.
Um, no, the teal doesn't have to be highlighted.
Okay.
It should just be like right underneath mod names, basically. So how does it look right now?
It looks like it's under.
Okay, so then grab it and then move it to the right a little bit.
Okay, move to the right. Okay, got it. I believe I
Got
have
it.
it. So it
Perfect.
looks like
So
it's
now
bracketed in underneath.
exactly.
Okay,
So
okay.
now this statement or this code block will only execute if it's
Mm,
true. If the checkpoint is true, then execute this. If you would have left it underneath, then it's going to execute no matter what, because it's the checkpoint
Okay.
is not is not nested. Nothing is nested to the checkpoint specifically. So now the way that we have it, we're going to add. You can drop in the value, which is the player. So that same player pill that entered the
Okay.
world, we're going to add, and we're going to add them to the mods list, the mod players list, the green pill. So we're going to put that.
The green pill. Got you.
Yes. So now we should say
Okay.
when players enter the world, if the name of the player is checked by is contains in the list mod names, we're going to add this player to the player list mods. Now we're going
Okay.
to copy the top two lines, duplicate those.
The if and the add.
No, no, no.
Oh,
Underworld started, who is allowed
got
to
you.
view, and who set who can grab. So copy those, and then
Mhm.
drag them right underneath the add to mods. So those should also be nested inside of the if statement.
Okay.
All right. All right, cool. So we're setting the world is started. We're setting who can view to mods, who can grab to mods. Since it's currently empty because the world just started, no one's in the list. But then as soon as it registers the player entered the world, it's going to check if they're a mod. If they're a mod, we're going to add them to the list, and then we're going to reset who can view and reset who can grab. And now the mods list has at least one player, right? Because I was just
Okay.
added. So now
Yes.
go ahead and go into preview mode. And now I see mine and I can grab mine.
Oh. Oh,
You can
yes.
see yours. I
Okay.
can't see yours. Let go of it.
Oh, okay. And I can't see yours.
Yeah. And I can't even grab it. I can't see it and I can grab it. And
And you
mine
can't grab it.
is right here in my hand. And I'll put it in front of
Oh,
you. And
nice.
you can't see it and you can grab it.
Yeah, you can't see mine. Okay.
All right.
And
So,
will it
mhm.
just be stable in a specific location always?
Yes, for right now, since we didn't script anything like a return script or anything
Okay.
like that, it's just wherever we leave it, that's where it'll stay. But only
Okay.
I can grab it and only I can see it. You can't grab it and you can't see it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So and since it's animated, it's not collidable. So no, it's not like anyone can crash into it in this
Nice.
situation.
Okay.
All right. So let's go ahead and cross these two things off of class notes. And the way I do that is we are gonna go to one. All right. So we got can
Very
see,
nice.
can grab. So now is the Raycast setup.
Okay.
Cool. How are we doing, Carrie?
Doing good. So
Good.
far, so good.
All
Yes.
right. Cool. So now, so now we know who can grab and who can't grab, who can see, who can't see. That's all set. So now we need to get to the some action here. So let's go to the events and let's go to um when tu- 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 when object is grabbed by player under grab events. Let's pull that one out. And
Okay.
also, let's go ahead and in that same area, let's pull out when object is released by player. Let's pull those
Okay.
two things out. Okay.
Got it.
So underneath, we're going to work underneath the when object is grabbed by player. So when this happens, let's go ahead to actions
Mm-hmm.
and we can scroll down and we'll find a raycast option. Let's just pick out the first one that says raycast and let's put it right underneath when object is grabbed. And now here it's asking us for a raycast gizmo, right?
Okay.
So let's go to the variables tab and let's go ahead and create a space that we can connect our raycast gizmo. You can just call it cast or raycast, doesn't matter.
Okay.
So it is an object. I forgot to mention for you guys at home. It is an object, so make sure that's the type. It is not a list. It's just a regular single object, and we named it cast. And now we're gonna drag that cast pill and plug it into the raycast gizmo empty space. So now when the object is grabbed by the player, it's gonna raycast, right? Um, but we want to do it dynamically. So as I continuously hold it, it's continuously casting or raycasting.
Mm-hmm.
So to do this, we need to create a loop. So let's
Okay.
go to, we're going to create a loop here as an event. So we're going to go to the Events tab, and we're going to do Send Event to Object right underneath Raycast with Cast. Send
Okay. Send event
Event
to
to
object.
Self. And right now it's named My Event. That's the default. We'll go ahead and create a new event, and we can call it casting loop, or I think I might have already called one earlier cast loop. I did. So we'll just go
Okay.
ahead and we can use that. That's fine.
Cast loop. Okay.
Yeah, let's use cast loop. And then we're going to grab in the events tab when event is received. And we're going to plug that in. And then we're going
Where
to
would
change
that
the
go?
name. It doesn't matter. It can go anywhere because since it's its own independent
Got you.
set of blocks, it doesn't matter. So
Okay.
here we're going to name it cast loop. So when cast loop is received, and it says with, and then there's a parameter. Parameters, I'll do a separate video on that, but here we're not using any parameters today.
Okay.
So we're good. So now that we sent the event cast loop to self, we want to do a loop here. We're going to do this as a pretty much a conditional loop. So we're going to use an if statement again. So let's take out an if.
Okay.
And then we're going to go ahead and create a Boolean. So if you guys know what a Boolean is, it's basically an on and off switch, a true or false. So we go to the variables tab, create new variable. We'll change the type to Boolean, and it's not a list today. So we're just going to call this active. We'll name it active. All right, so now we have an active. And as you
Got
can
it.
see, it's defaulted to false, and we can toggle it. It'll go to true, but leave it as false. So leave it as
Leave
toggled
it
to
as false.
false.
Okay.
So basically, when the world starts, active Boolean is false.
Okay.
All right, and then we're just going to drag that pill and put it into the condition if. And
Okay.
now it should say if active. So basically, if active is true, that's what it's
Mhm.
automatically asking and checking. It's another checkpoint. So if
Okay.
active is true, and then let's put some actions underneath that if it's true. So
Okay.
we want the first thing we want to do is let's copy that raycast with cast that we put under when object is grabbed. Let's duplicate that and let's go ahead and drag it underneath if it is active under our cast loop. So we want to
Okay. And
raycast.
should be nested.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
All right. And then so let's go ahead underneath that. We're going to go to events and we're going to put send event with delay. We're going to grab that and put it right underneath raycast with cast, also nested. And we're going to change the send to cast loop. So it's sending
Okay.
cast loop to self. It's after 1 second. Let's erase that one and let's put 0.1. So a
Okay.
tenth of a second. So it's 10 times a second basically. So we just created your loop. So
Mm.
if you never did this at
Nice.
home or
Okay.
Carrie, you created your first loop. um,
Okay.
so
Awesome.
basically what's happening here is as long as active is true, it's going to raycast with the cast, and then it's going to send the event cast loop after zero point 0.1 seconds. And then it's going to check if active is true, and then it's going to raycast with cast again, and it's going to do that. So 10 times a second, it's going to
Okay.
cycle through this, right? So
Wow.
it's a loop. But for the loop to work, active needs to be set to true. So let's go ahead and set active to true
Okay.
when object is grabbed by player. So to do this, let's go to our values tab. At the very top of the values tab, there is a set to code block, probably the smallest code block that there is, set to. 5 words.
Okay.
We're going to put that right
Okay.
underneath when object is grabbed by player. And now we say it says set variable to value. So you can set to, we're going to use it a lot actually in this video. We're going to go ahead and go to variables. Let's grab the active and let's put that as the variable. So set active to, and we want to put true. So let's go back to values. At the bottom of values, you'll find something that's called value input, and you'll see a pink Boolean input. Let's grab that
Okay.
one and see how this one
That.
you can choose true or false. So it's defaulted to false, so click it to true.
True.
And so
Okay.
now it should say,
True.
so what does it read for you now?
Set active to true
Exactly. So when the object is grabbed by player, we're going to set active to true. When do we want to set it to false then?
when they don't have it.
When they let go of it, when they release
Mm-hmm.
it. So let's duplicate that line that we just made, active to true. Duplicate that,
Okay.
then drag it down to when object is released by player, and then change it
Okay.
to false.
Got you.
So now when I grab it, active is immediately set
Okay.
to true, and then the cast loop is sent after it's true. So now it's going to keep casting. But when I let go of it, active is set to false, so it's going to stop casting. Because if we
Okay.
look at the loop again, it says if active is true, do the following. So as soon as I let go of it, active becomes false and it stops doing the following.
Okay.
See that?
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So now um we let's go ahead and let's look at the raycast actually. We're going to go inside of the group. So enter
Okay.
inside of the group, open the properties panel for the raycast. And right now it's just defaulted set to players. Let's change that to both. We don't need an object tag.
Both.
Yeah, no object tag needed for this tutorial. And then I'm going to change the raycast distance to, for right now, just 100 meters. So that's still an extremely large distance, but that's fine for right now.
Okay.
And then that's it. So you can exit.
Mm.
And so now the raycast will work with objects or players. So we're going to go ahead and say we're done with the raycast setup. And we're going to move on to the indicator, which
Nice.
still has something to do with the raycast, um, but more to do with, I would say, ugh, wrong one. How many did we do? 3? All right, let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Reset. All right, cool.
Pikachu.
All right, so now let's focus on the indicator.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and make an indicator. I had made like a Sims like indicator. You can
I
use
love that one.
yeah. So let's go. I want to do that again.
Replicate it. Okay.
Yeah. So I just take 2 pyramids out and put them on top of each other, and then I colored it green. And this is simple because since we can get more creative and do like I was gonna do like a pointer arrow, like a computer, like the
Oh, that's
arrow.
yeah.
Yeah,
That works.
but for that, we rotation would be needed, so it doesn't look weird if you're rotated to a different area. But since this type of shape, no matter which way you look at it, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a good indicator.
right. So it's we don't have to really worry about rotation too much. So basically, what we're gonna do is where the raycast hits a player, we want this indicator to go on top of their head, like in Sims. And that way, also, I know the player that the
Mm-hmm.
raycast hit, with this indicator. So that's what this indicator is for, and also so you can see
Okay.
where you're raycasting. So this indicator, this object will move to where your raycast is hitting, whether it's a table, a chair, so you can see.
Okay.
There are other examples like this tool that I have here. This I use for my for a casino table, for a roulette table. So here you can see I have a string, and it expands and it shrinks to where it's hitting. We're not going to do that for this because it's a simple version, and this would take a little bit more, a few lines of code, and we can do that in the second video where we can get a little bit more fancy with our tool and whatnot. So, but for this video, to keep it simple again, guys, we're just going to use a simple indicator, and it's going to show up at where the raycast is hitting. All right. So if we have our indicator, can you go into into preview so I can see the size of
Yep.
this real quick? That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Why not? Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right. So now that we have our indicator created, let's go ahead and create a variable in the script, and we can name it indicator. And it is an object, single object, indicator. And since this is an object that is outside of the group here um, of our marker, we're going to go to set who is allowed to view at the world
Mhm.
start. We're going to go ahead and just duplicate that first line, who is allowed to view. And
Mhm.
instead of self, we're going to delete the self pill and we're going to grab and drop the indicator pill that we just made. So now when the world is started, I won't be able to see your indicator anymore once we
Okay.
connect it. So
And you
that'll be,
said we're duplicating the set who is
mhm,
allowed to view and take
yes,
out the self and put indicator.
correct.
Okay, awesome.
And then once you have that, you can go to your tool, open the properties, and you'll see you should have two empty areas actually. The indicator is empty and the cast is empty. So we want to connect both those things. So I'll
Okay.
connect the
Which tools? I'm sorry.
um say that again.
Which tool? You said open up the tool.
Open up the property panel to
Okay.
the
In the Raycast.
to your yeah, to like your tool, your marker.
Got you.
Your yeah. I don't know what we're calling it. Calling it a tool.
Got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. All right, yeah.
No
So open
problem.
up the
Okay.
properties panel of that, and then you can
Mhm.
drop in the pill for your indicator to indicator,
Okay.
and then you're gonna go inside, leave the property panel open, but go inside, open the property panel to Raycast, and then connect that Raycast to the cast that's empty.
Okay. Let me just
And now
see.
we have our two connections.
Do you recommend renaming them?
It doesn't. It's up to you. It's your personal preference and what's easier for you and what will have you
Okay.
remember. But so since you just connected your indicator, I can no longer see it, which is
Okay.
what's supposed to happen.
And then just the Raycast in the Raycast, right? So I have to go into it.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Good. All right. Cool. All right. So now we created the indicator. So what are we going to do with this indicator? So currently we're going to work underneath the cast loop. So um,
I can't see it.
you can't see what your
The
indicator.
indicator.
Right. Oh, so great point. Actually, we forgot before we move on. Under when world is entered by player, under the if statement of
Hmm.
contains name of player, let's duplicate who is allowed to view self. Duplicate that one, delete self, and drop indicator in there because obviously we want the
Okay.
mods to see it. All right,
Okay.
cool. And then if we reset world and I go into it, I see my indicator and I see my tool and I can grab my
Oh,
tool
nice.
and I cannot see Carrie's anything because I'm not a mod on her tool.
Nice. Yeah, and I don't see
Cool.
yours.
Exact.
Perfect.
Perfect. All right. So let's go back. Now we want this indicator to go at to where the raycast is hitting, making contact. So we're going to work underneath the cast loop and
Okay.
we're going to put a couple ifs. Right. So we're going to do da, 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 pause, and I have 7 minutes left. So this is
Nice.
perfect. We'll be able to finish just part.
That's awesome.
Um, okay, so let's do. We're
You're
gonna do
doing
two.
great.
Thank you. We're gonna do
Mm-hmm.
two if statements and a cast.
Mm-hmm.
If all right, we're gonna do the first one. If did hit from cast equals true.
This is the
Okay.
when cast loop is received area,
Yes.
right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool.
All right. Perfect. So the first thing we're gonna do in the cast loop is we already have ray cast with cast, right? That's what we
Mm-hmm.
want to have happen. And then
Yeah.
right underneath that, we're going to put an if. Right underneath raycast with cast, we'll put an if there.
Okay. So an if
And
within the if.
yeah, exactly. An if within the if.
Okay.
So
If
we're gonna put a
within the
check
if.
here and we're gonna check. We're gonna get it. We're gonna go to the operators tab,
Mm-hmm.
scroll all the way up, and let's get an equal sign. Let's grab an equal sign and let's put that inside of the if. So it should say if A equals B. Um, and so we want to put two things here. We want to put,
It's I'm
let's
sorry,
go,
it's the double equal. Is there another one?
yes,
That's the
yes,
one. Okay, just want to make
yes.
sure.
Mhm.
Okay, so if got it.
And now go back to your operator, stay in there, scroll all the way down to the bottom, the
Okay.
very bottom. You'll see get Raycast data pill. We're going to grab that and we're going to put it in the A side. All right.
Okay.
So now it says if
Mm.
get did hit from and is asking for a Raycast gizmo. So go ahead and put in the object cast in that Raycast gizmo pill, blank space. So if did hit from cast, if you click the down arrow of that did hit, you'll see we have a bunch of options. If did hit
Okay.
object, if did hit player, player hit object, hit point. So right now we're just gonna leave it as did hit,
Did hit. Okay. And
and
the
then
Raycast Gizmo is that object you said? The
is the
Raycast
cast
pill?
object exactly
Okay.
the yes.
Okay. I got it.
And then we're going to go to scroll up a little bit to your active where it says set active to true.
Set
Grab that
active.
true under when object is grabbed by
Mm.
player. Grab
Mm-hmm.
that true pill, duplicate it into the
That's the
B.
B. Got
Just
it.
yeah,
Okay.
just the true. So
Just
now
the
it should
true.
say if did hit from cast equals true, right?
Okay. Yep.
All right. So what we want to do is go to the motion. I think this is the first time we're in motion today. Go to the motion
Okay.
tab and we're
Okay.
gonna take the very first one, move to, and we're gonna put that
Okay.
nested underneath our if did hit with from cast.
Got it.
And now it's asking us to move something. Well, we're not gonna move self because self is what we're grabbing
Right.
onto the tool. So we want to move, go to your variables, and we're gonna move indicator. So let's plug in indicator. So now we're going to move indicator, and we can move the indicator anywhere we want. But obviously, for this to be a little bit effective,
Mm-hmm.
we wanted to move it to where the raycast is hitting. So we're gonna say move erase. Let's erase that green vector. So now it
Okay.
says move to position.
Mm-hmm.
Now carefully grab point at get did hit from cast until it's highlighted and grab
Okay.
it and duplicate it into that position.
Okay. So
And
it should
now,
say
mhm,
get did hit from Raycast.
yes. So now we're gonna drop
Okay.
down and change it to the option that says hit point. Hit point.
Hit point. Got it.
Yeah, so it should say move indicator to get the hit point from the cast or rate
Okay.
cast, right?
Yes.
All right, so let's go ahead and test it out.
Okay.
All right, all
How would I
right.
know?
Move it around. You should see your indicator moving. Do you see your indicator?
No, I don't see my indicator moving. I mean, I see
Do,
my indicator. I don't see it moving.
okay. All right, then let's check a look at your code.
Okay.
All right, so let's go here, here, here. Cast loop. Move indicator to hit point from raycast. Raycast with raycast. If active is true. All right, everything here looks good. Let's just reset, start, stop. Okay, enter the world now. Try it
Okay.
again.
And how would it move?
Make you should see your indicator
Oh, it just moved.
moving.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, it just moved.
So yeah, so if you look here, point at the chair.
Oh, there it goes. Uh huh.
Yeah, like point at the chair here.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, so if you point at the
It
table,
went this way. It went all the way over there.
if you point at the tree, yeah, it goes
Oh look,
because
there it goes.
we left the raycast distant like 100 meters, so it goes far.
Oh.
But it
Oh,
goes
so
to
it's
where
like
it's
over there
hitting.
if I point over there.
Right. So like if
Got
you
you.
point at the jail, the indicator should go
Okay.
to the jail.
Like it's
If
pointing
I
at the
point
table,
exactly. So wherever it's
pointing at
pointing,
the.
because that's what the raycast is hitting objects and players. So wherever the raycast hits,
Oh.
that's where the
So if I
indicator is going
point
to
at
get
a
moved to.
view, It's right
Exactly.
on you.
Right. So
Okay.
now we want it to, but we want to make it look a little cool. So when it points,
Yeah.
we want to do when it hits a player for it to go on top of their head. So that will
Yes.
be
Like a
the next
sin.
block. Okay. All right. So now to make it look cool, and when we hit a player to indicate that the player has been hit with the raycast, we are going to
Mm-hmm.
stay in that same cast loop, and we're going
Okay.
to let's go to that if did hit from cast. Click hover over the if letters, and then you should see the whole thing highlighted, right? And then let's
Yes.
just duplicate that whole thing. Okay.
Right under it.
Yes.
Okay.
So now you should have
I've looked
it twice, right? So
twice. Yep.
let's change did hit and the if, let's change that
Mm-hmm.
to did hit player. All
Did
right.
hit player. Got it.
And then everything else we can leave. And then for the move, we want to move the indicator to, and we're going to delete the get hit point from cast. And now we
Okay.
should see a
Delete the whole thing.
position.
Mm-hmm.
And for position, we're going to go to operators.
Okay.
Operators, we got to scroll up to player section and get position of player. And we're going to drop
Okay.
that in there.
Got it.
And now we have move indicator to head position of and then player. So how do we get the player? All right.
We can do. Mm-hmm.
So to get the player, what we'll do is first we're going to create a variable,
Okay.
and this will be a player type. And this, I'm just for now we'll call it hit. I called it X in my other script, but we'll call it hit.
Hit. Okay.
So yeah. And so now that's a variable. So that means we can set that to anybody, right? So what we'll
Okay.
do is we'll go to values and grab the set to value because we need to set it because it might hit different players, right? So we want to change it every time it hits a different player. So we're going to do set to and put that right
Mm-hmm.
underneath the if did hit player from cast, make that the first block. If variable
Okay.
set to value. So we're
If
gonna mhm.
where what's it again? I'm sorry.
The one that says did hit player,
Mm-hmm.
right right in nested in that, make that the first block, the set to
Gotcha.
block.
Okay.
And we're gonna set hit, which is a player variable. We're gonna set hit to, and then we got
Mm-hmm.
a value. So now again, very carefully hover over get did hit player from, hover over that so it's highlighted, copy it into value, set hit player.
Okay. Get hit the hit player from Raycast. That one.
Yes. And now you'll see an error because we don't want did hit player because that's a true or false. We need to click that
Okay.
drop down and we need to change
Mm-hmm.
it to player hit.
Okay.
All right. So now it says set hit, which is actually a player. We just named it hit, but we could have named it X. We could have named it player hit. We can name it
Okay.
whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the code. Um, so we're setting that variable that's a player, which can be any player. We're setting the player variable to the player that got hit by the raycast. Got it?
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
now we're going to move the indicator to the head position of, guess who? Hit.
Hit. Okay.
So, but guess what?
Ah. What?
That's not exactly perfect because that's going to be like right on their head. So we want to move a little bit up. So to do that,
Okay.
let's go ahead and just duplicate that whole block of code of move indicator. Let's duplicate the move
Okay.
indicator and let's delete the head position of from the duplicated one.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going to go to operators. We're going to go to scroll all the way up in operators to the plus sign.
Okay.
All right, we're going to
Plus
put that
sign.
plus sign in the position.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have A plus B. So we're going to
Okay.
now we're going to drop that head position of hit into A. And
The
then
head. Which part?
where it says head position of hit, drag that pill into the A.
Set. Set. Hit.
No, 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 no. Head position of hit.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Drop that in A.
Yes. And
Okay.
then we're going to delete the move indicator, the duplicate one that
Mm-hmm.
we don't need anymore. And now we have move
The top
indicator
one.
to, yeah, the top one.
Got you. Okay.
Now we have move indicator to position of hit player's head plus, and now we got to put in a vector. So let's go to values
Mine says move indicator to head position of hit
plus,
plus. Yes. That's okay.
and then B, right?
Yes. Plus B.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So now in the
So
B,
okay.
we're going to put in a vector input. So go to values, scroll
Okay.
down to the lime green vector input and put that in the B. And now we can manually put
Okay.
Y, X, Z. Obviously, we don't want to move it to the left or to the right because it's going to be perfectly centered already. We maybe don't want to move it forward or backward because it should be kind of centered. So let's just move it
Mm-hmm.
up. So Y would be the center number, and let's put
Okay.
point three,
Point.
point three. So that's
Okay.
positive Y above the head. So that should give us right above the head.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead, stop the world. All right, let's go into preview. All right, so let's see, try it on me, point it at me.
Yes. It's perfect.
All right, let me try it so the people at home can see. There
Oh,
we
look
go.
at that.
There's my sim. Carrie's
Ah.
the sim now.
I love Sims.
Yeah,
Sims
so
are
there we
great.
go. So now it's running the script.
We're
If it
getting
hits a
there.
player, don't just go to where it's hitting, but go above the head of the player that got hit. If I go to
So if I
this, it
point
goes
at
to
you,
there.
it'll go
So
right over your head. Okay.
exactly. And there we go. So now we have an indicator of the player that's getting hit with the raycast. Um,
And I could be up to 100 feet.
yeah, 100 meters.
Well, 100 meters.
But oh, I see it. It's right on you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Hmm. But yeah, but in the second video, we'll have the option where you don't have to point at anybody, and you can just scroll through all the players that are currently in the
Oh,
world.
nice.
But obviously, that would take another a full another list, a player list,
Mm,
and whatnot. So I just wanted to make it simple for you guys, so you guys can understand what you're doing and be able to use it in different types of scripts as well. Um, okay,
sounds good.
so let's mark off the indicator. Indicator is working perfectly. So we'll mark that done. 3. There we go.